What's going on, guys? Mike Winning here from Winning Window Tints. Came here to show you how we tinting this beautiful Mercedes SL AMG 63. First, we're gonna show us tinting this car, and then I'm gonna give you a little brief history about the car and how it came to be. Stay tuned, guys. You're not gonna wanna miss it.
If you guys noticed, this doesn't have the closer to your sunroof, guys. Usually there's this little panel you get to pull back, boom, and you hide away the glass. This doesn't have that, guys. This has a sunroof without that. But what Mercedes Benz did, and I think it's ahead of its time, guys. If you touch it, it's clear, nice and open. And if you hit the button again, guys, it gets nice and dark in here, hides all that sun away. That is very nice. For those of you guys that don't know what's going on, that is smart film, guys, and it's an electric current that's going right through that film. So when you hit the button, no electricity, it turns clear, guys, and once it gets an electric current to it, it starts getting dark and it darkens up. It changes the complete shade of that glass, guys. Isn't that so cool? Way ahead of its time, guys. Way ahead of its time. Mercedes Benz, man, the best, guys. Nothing but the best.
So what do the letters AMG stand for? A is for Alfred, M is for Melcher, and G is for Grossasbach. Something like that. It's in German, so I can't really pronounce it too well. Now, the company AMG came around and started modifying Mercedes Benzes. Kind of like how Shelby does for Ford. But we're not going to get into that right now. We're just going to give you a little brief history about the Mercedes Benz SL model in particular. Not the CL or the ML or the BL, TL. The Mercedes Benz SL model started as a race car in 1952, and it won a couple of big races. Now, I'm not talking about no street races. I'm talking about real legitimate races. It became an instant classic. It had these doors that went up like a seagull. You know, those birds that are in the ocean, the one from Nemo, and people fell in love with it. People loved the car, the way it looks. So in 1954, they made a street legal version. This thing was beautiful. It had these cool vents on the side fenders that kind of resemble a shark's gill. Red leather interior is a beautiful thing. The next version that came out was in 1963. Nothing special, it was a simple car, but it was nothing spectacular. Kind of simple in my opinion. It wasn't until 1971 that they got their muscle up and came through with an 8-cylinder SL. I guess they got tired of the Americans with their big muscle cars pushing them around. You know, like with those Mustangs or the Chevy Corvette Stingrays. It wasn't as big as the American muscle cars. It was a little bit smaller, but what it lacked in size, it made up for in luxury. Even though it had the big 8-cylinder engine in it, it still couldn't really muscle around the muscle cars. So what they do, in 1990, Mercedes started releasing the big body SLs. Man, this SL was a rocket. One of them even had a 7.3 liter engine. It was the same engine that they used in the legendary Pagani Zonda. It was called the SL73. But the body was a little boxy and simple, nothing kind of out of this world. It was kind of more for the executive guy. It wasn't too sporty looking. So in 2002, Mercedes released my personal favorite body style, the Mercedes Benz SL 500. And they also made a SL55 AMG that was also beautiful, and it also had the V12 engine, which was the 600, and the 65, which was a V12 twin turbo. This thing was a monster. There was no games being played. The thing was beautiful, fast, and the inside was super luxurious. It even had massage seats. Then 7 years later, that's when I think they started getting a little lazy. Instead of remodeling the whole body, they only started doing like little facelifts, they call it, and expected everyone just to keep buying the same car. They even went as far as making a wide body Black Series AMG. Don't get me wrong, the thing was beautiful. They took away the convertible top though to save weight. This thing was more for speed, it was fast, and I think it was worth about 300 grand though. In your hand though. Do you understand though? So in 2012, that's when they really got lazy. They came through with the same body, but they changed up the front end and the back. The front lights were a little bulky. They looked a little weird in my opinion. I didn't really like it too much. Some people do. If you really look at it, it still has the size and the top of the 2002 version. And then just to add salt to the wound, in 2016, all they did was just change the front end. They didn't want to change the body up. I guess the 2002 version was so nice that they just kept with the same type of body, but just switching around little things here and there, like the front headlights or the back lights. But they didn't really change the whole body. At least make it bigger or longer, flatter, wider. Don't just keep the same body and keep switching around lights like it's gonna make a big difference. No wonder they're not selling. Come on, Mercedes, get it together. Don't get me wrong, I love Benzes, but we need to switch it up here and there. People don't like buying the same thing over and over. If I have a Mercedes that's from 2002, I'm not gonna buy it again in 2019 when it looks very similar to the 2002 model. Don't get me wrong, this particular Mercedes that we're tinting inside the shop, I like. It's a beautiful car, don't get me wrong. But it kind of does look similar to the 2002 model. It does have its little gadgets, its little quirks and features, like Doug DeMuro says, like the sunroof that tints by itself, which is taken away from our business, if I may add. But it's just not enough for me to kind of like go out my way to trade in my car to get a new one, to pay more and all that, when it kind of looks similar to the last one. So I don't know what this company's gonna do with the SL in particular, being that they got the Mercedes GTR. They also got the Mercedes SLR that was a collaboration between McLaren and Mercedes. Beautiful looking car. It looks kind of like the 2002 Mercedes. That's how beautiful that body style was. And then when you look at the competition of this car, I mean, I'd say that its main competitor is the BMW 6 Series. You do got your Aston Martin, but the Aston Martin is kind of in a higher level and is more exclusive. Not just anybody buys those cars. And now they got the 8 Series that just came out in September of 2019. These are big cars. They're really nice cars. So Mercedes got to get it together with their legendary SL model and come through with something really nice for their next body style. That's it for now. Let me know if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Really just don't care. Unfortunately, Eric is still not here right now. When he was doing the review on the Magic Roof, that was when the car was actually here and we were working on it a couple weeks ago. We do film these cars a couple weeks in advance, guys. So we do got some good stuff coming to you guys, but he's gonna be coming back soon. We're gonna be doing those live videos again every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. All you gotta do is tune in, just pick 3 numbers from 0 to 99. We'll pick out 2 numbers, whatever number it is. If you got that number, you win $100 cash prize. Until next time, winners, winning. A is for Alfred, M is for Maucha, and G is for, I forgot what this is. Graffer.
So I was trying to look for like pronounce
Alfred, Melcher, and Grossaspach. Melcher, Grossaspach. A is for Alfred, M is for Melcher, and G I think is for Grossaspach, something like that. It's kind of in German, so I can't really pronounce it too well, if you know what I'm saying.